Hi there, hope you all are doing great. Today's video is on IELTS Writing Task 2, Essay Writing. And the question I have here is one of the replicated versions from the most recent IELTS test conducted on 24th May. So let's get started. You can see the task prompt on screen and you are aware of the instructions regarding the timing. 40 minutes for this task. And then let's get into the question. What the question is. Some people think that healthcare should be free for everyone. Others think that people should pay for their healthcare themselves. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So it's a very straightforward essay type. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. And I personally feel that this is one of the easiest question types for students because you have points to be written supporting two different views, which means that you don't have to hunt for different points on one specific view. Discuss both sides means you need to find points on two different aspects, so it becomes much easier. Okay, so it's a discuss both views and give your opinion type of essay question and nothing complicated. Now on understanding, okay, the first thing that we have understood is that discuss both views and give your opinion. So you understood the essay type. Now, this essay type is going to decide how our essay structure should be, how the paragraphing should be. Now, when it comes to this specific question type, there are two possible ways in which you can structure your essay. That is usually how we have it. You have the introduction paragraph followed by the body paragraphs and then the conclusion paragraph. Now, in case of this discuss both sides and give your opinion, you can have a possible third body paragraph. When can you have this third body paragraph? If your view or your opinion is not something which is supporting the given two views, then you can go for a third body paragraph. Okay, I'm just revising the structure before we dive into the question because we have been practicing these essay question types, writing task 1 and writing task 2 for a while. So I don't think that we don't have to get in detail as to how to start off with it and all. So I'm just reminding the structure. That's it. Okay. Now regarding the task prompt, let's analyze the question or the task prompt in detail. Some people think that healthcare should be free for everyone. That is the first view. View 1 is that healthcare should be free for everyone. Some people are of that opinion. And others think that people should pay for their healthcare themselves. Now this is view 2. That is, others believe that people, whenever they are taking healthcare services, they should pay it for themselves. And another group believes that it should be free for everyone. So these are the two different views that you need to discuss on. Then again, remember that discuss both views and give your opinion, which means that even if you are supporting one of these views, you cannot completely concentrate on that view. You need to discuss about the other view as well because it's given that the task requirement here is that the candidate needs to discuss on both views. Now, if you're not doing that, if you're just focusing on one specific view which you are supporting, then the task response will not be met. If your task response needs to be complete, you have to discuss on view 1, view 2, plus you would have clearly stated your opinion. Your opinion can either be view 1 or view 2 or it can be completely different view 3. Okay, so you need to decide. You can take out time. Like if you generally, what should be done is that read the question prompt or the task prompt at least 3 times to have a clear understanding on what they have asked in the question. So go over the question multiple times, probably twice or thrice, and understand the exact meaning of the question and what the essay demands. But here I don't think that it's not that complicated. It's easy. One side is that one set of people believe that healthcare should be free and other believes that people themselves should pay for their healthcare. Now you have to think of points regarding both these views and then decide whether you need to stick on to one of the sides, or do you have enough points to develop a completely different third body paragraph with a unique view. That is what you have to decide before you start your writing. Now, regarding healthcare should be free for everyone, what can we think of? We can think of points like healthcare should reach out fairly to everyone, irrespective of their income or their financial status. Healthcare should reach to all the people in a uniform or fair way. So that is one point which we can think of. Then, like, if we are thinking of people should pay for their healthcare themselves, what we can say? We can say that, like, if they are not paying, what happens? People will misuse or overuse healthcare facilities even for trivial reasons, which can actually cause hindrance to the healthcare availability for people who aren't really in need of them. So that is one probable point that you can think from both the sides. And what you need to do once you get the major supporting idea with regard to each of these views, then you have to elaborate in a very clear way. You have to justify your supporting point with proper developing ideas. It can be through examples or through further explanation. I hope you know how the body paragraph needs to be structured. That is, each body paragraph should have at least one main supporting point, and it's not just enough that you have that supporting point, but that supporting point should be justified, or the reader should feel convinced regarding that supporting point. How can the reader get convinced? Through your developing sentences, and these developing sentences can either be further explanation or a very strong example. An example means it should be a general example, even the reader can relate it to. It cannot be personal examples. Okay. Now, sometimes students get confused with that idea. When I spoke about examples, that came to my mind. Here it is given, give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Here it is said that from your own knowledge or experience. So sometimes students ask that, like, it is given that from your own experience, then why can't I write my own personal examples? It is said that from your experience you can write, which means that which you have witnessed on a large scale or which you have read somewhere, the reader should get connected to that idea. If it is something which has happened to you just alone, personally, then the reader will not be able to relate to it. So you should not use personal examples. From your personal experience, you can take examples which generally a wider audience can connect to. I hope that is clear. Now we know how to construct the first two body paragraphs. One body paragraph on one view and another body paragraph on the other view. Now the question is, should I support either one of these views, or I should have a completely different third view? Maybe if you are looking for a completely different third view, what you can think of? You can think of, like, okay, the basic treatment or essential treatment can be made free to all the individuals, but if they need some advanced or luxurious treatment, then they should opt for paying it by themselves. That is one third opinion that you can, or a different opinion or a different view that you can think of. For advanced or non-essential treatment, the people should pay it for themselves. But essential treatments or essential healthcare facilities can be made free for all, if you are going for a third view. Or else, if you're supporting one of these views, then you can construct your essay accordingly. Okay, I shall show you how the construction can be. Now, the first impression regarding your essay should be clear through the introduction paragraph, because the introduction paragraph acts as a window to the rest of your essay. So the reader should be impressed by your introduction. So make sure that you write a very clean introduction for your essay. Now, how do we write the introduction? The introduction, generally we say that there should be two aspects. Definitely there should be two aspects. That is the paraphrasing of the background state, the paraphrasing of the given statement given in the question. A statement is given in the question, that should be paraphrased. Now, what is the statement here? Here the given statement is that some people think that healthcare should be free and others think that people should pay for their healthcare themselves. So this is the given statement. That should be paraphrased and written in the introduction. But is that just enough? No. More important than the background statement, or equally important, I would say, what is really significant is that you have to state your response. The task response or the thesis part should be there. Now, what is the thesis part? It is your response to this task. And what is the task here? Discuss both sides and give your opinion. So you have to mention about both the views and your opinion in the introduction also. then develop it further in the through the body paragraphs, and the same thing, your opinion should again be restated in the concluding paragraph or the conclusion. Okay, so introduction, when you're writing the intro, you need to have the background statement, which is nothing but the paraphrased version of the given statement, plus you need to have the thesis. The thesis is nothing but the response to the task. Response to the task. Whatever task it is, it can be agree or disagree, positive or negative development, advantage outweigh disadvantage, whatever it is, according to the task that has been asked in the question, you have to place your response. So these two aspects should definitely be there in the introduction, plus some, we can, before the background statement, if you want, you can include a general statement also. That is, here they are talking about, in this specific question, they are talking about healthcare. Should it be made free or should it be chargeable? Now, generally, both the views are talking about healthcare. So, if you are able to include a sentence, general sentence based on healthcare, definitely you can go for a general statement. But if you are not somebody who cannot think of a general idea, that's totally fine. You can start off with the background statement. Background statement and thesis should necessarily be there. This general statement is optional. If you can write, if you are somebody who has good language control, who reads well, who has a lot of ideas, then of course you are free to write the general statement as well. Okay. Now I shall show you some variations of introductions. For this, I have placed this question or task prompt here at the side, so that the introduction, you can just cross-check with it when I show the introduction, whether it is matching with that introduction or with the given task prompt. Okay. Now, one variation. Okay. Now that you have agreed or you have decided that, let me support one of the given views. That is, you are favoring free healthcare. A group believes that free healthcare should be provided. Another view is that it should be chargeable. Now, you have decided to structure the essay in such a way that you're supporting the view that free healthcare should be provided. In such a case, how the introduction should be. I'll read it out. Healthcare is important for everyone, but people have different opinions on how it should be paid for. Now, this is the general statement that I have written. And I say that it's not necessary. Generally, a statement about healthcare has been written. Then this is the background statement. Some individuals believe that medical services should be provided at no cost to all, while others think people should be responsible for covering their own healthcare expenses. Now, this is the background statement, which is nothing but the paraphrased version of this given statement. This is the given statement that has been paraphrased, rewritten. Now, this is the task. Where is the task response in the introduction? Yes. However, I believe healthcare must be free to protect public well-being, which means that you are making your opinion clear. This is your task response. So your introduction should clearly have these parts. This general statement, it's optional, okay? But of course, you need to have this background statement and the task response, the thesis part we said, okay? This is how we construct the introduction, in one way in which you can construct the introduction if you're supporting free healthcare. Now, if you are of the view that people should pay for healthcare, how can we think of the introduction? There is a debate over whether healthcare should be universally free or whether individuals ought to pay for the medical treatment they receive. Now, here I have not written the general statement. I've straight away got into the background statement. Then here, this is the background. Then this is the task response. I agree with the latter view. Latter view means people need to pay for their medical treatment. That is the latter view. I agree with the latter view, as personal payment can ensure medical services are used responsibly. You give a reasoning also there, then it sounds more convincing. And this is the idea which you would be elaborating in the body paragraph. Okay. So this is one way in which you can write if you are favoring that people should pay for healthcare services. Now you are going for a completely different third view, a different view. not the two views which are given in the task prompt, but you're going for a different view, proposing a hybrid system. So let's see how the introduction can be. Access to healthcare is a vital component of any well-functioning society, and how it should be funded remains a topic of global debate. This is again a general statement. Then, while many support the idea of free healthcare for everyone, others argue that people should bear financial burden of their own medical care, should bear. So this is the background statement. Then, in my view, which means this is your task response. Essential services should be free. Essential services should be free, while non-urgent treatments can involve shared costs, which means that you're balancing it. You say that essential services should be free, whereas non-essential services should include some charge. Okay, I hope how to write the introduction is clear through this. Now let's see how the body paragraphs have been developed. Here also I'll show you two variations. Okay, now this is an example wherein you have gone for a completely different third view. So you can see here, this is the introduction, like how we have already discussed it. Then you have this body 1, body 2, plus you have a body paragraph 3. Because why? You're not supporting one of the given views, but you have a different opinion, a different view, third view. So for that reason, you should be having a third body paragraph. Okay. Now in the first body paragraph, how it is written: supporters of free healthcare argue, which means that clearly you have started to talk about view 1. It gives an indication to the reader. In this body paragraph, you're going to discuss about view 1, which means that you're going to talk about why free healthcare, why some people think that healthcare services should be made available free to everyone. It is a basic human right and should not depend on a person's income. Basic human right. In countries like Canada, you can rope in examples. In countries like Canada and the UK, government-funded healthcare systems provide medical services at no direct cost to citizens. This approach, you have given an example here, this approach reduces health inequalities and encourages people to seek early treatment and preventive care, which helps reduce long-term medical expenses. Free access also protects another advantage. Okay. Now, first advantage first point that you have put in support of this free healthcare is that it can reduce long-term medical expenses. Because like if people think that okay, it is chargeable, so let me not take medical service, and people might delay it, and this can result in like long-term medical expenses people that can incur. Okay, so if you, on the other hand, like if free healthcare is provided, this can be reduced. Long-term medical expenses can be reduced. Then another aspect is that free access also protects public health by ensuring that contagious illnesses are treated before they spread. Now, if healthcare service is made free to people don't find it difficult to go and access the healthcare service and get the treatment on time. So this can actually prevent the spread of contagious diseases. That is another supporting point which you can say in favor of free healthcare service. Now, however, when you say however, it is clear to the reader. Now we are going to an opposite idea. You know that when it comes to discuss both sides and give your opinion, essay, question type, the two views will be contradictory in nature. They won't be similar. They'll be in two different directions. So you have explained regarding one view in the first paragraph. Now you're going to shift your idea. So you can use this cohesive device or connector, however, to show that shift in idea. Opponents believe that free healthcare, so you're going to talk about free healthcare in this, believe that free healthcare may lead to overuse of strain on medical facilities. So however, opponents believe that the other people on the other side believe that free healthcare can cause overuse and strain on medical facilities. When healthcare is entirely free, some people may seek help for minor issues that do not require professional attention. This unnecessary demand can overwhelm public hospitals, leading to longer waiting times and reduced access for those with serious conditions. See, that's what we said initially, right? That is like if it is made free, the people who say that it should not be made free, what is their justification? What they say is that if it is made free, people will approach or seek healthcare services even for minor issues, and this can cause a long waiting period for people who are really in need of healthcare. Okay. Now, you're not supporting either of these views, so you can have a third opinion. In my opinion, a balanced model is most effective. Essential care should be free to ensure equality, but patients can contribute of elective or advanced treatment. If they need any advanced treatment, which is not critical, which is not very essential, then they can or they should be paying for it. This ensures fair access while also promoting responsibility and system efficiency. So that is how you develop your idea in support of your view. Okay. Now that you've written both the views, you have written your view as well, you need to conclude your essay. To conclude, while some people think individuals should bear the cost of their medical treatment, others believe healthcare should be completely free. You're just restating, okay? I believe essential services must be provided at no cost, but people can be expected to pay for non-essential or elective procedures. So, conclusion is nothing but you are restating your opinion. Rather, what you've written in the purpose paragraph, you have just rewritten it. You have to understand that purpose and conclusion, it's the same. Introduction and conclusion, they are the same. In introduction, you are giving a hint to the reader as to what you're going to write in the essay or what you're going to speak through the essay. And in conclusion, you are telling the reader, this is the summary of what I have written in the essay. And the body paragraphs actually speaks what you have to say. Okay, this is how you have to structure your essay. Introduction, give the hint. Conclusion, give the summary. And the body paragraphs, let it do the talking. Okay. I have one more sample here. Now this, you can see introduction, conclusion, but only two body paragraphs, body 1 and body 2. Which means that I'm supporting one of the given views. I'm not going for a completely different third opinion, but I'm supporting one of the views. So in that case, see, according to one perspective, free healthcare may lead to overuse and strain on medical facilities. Before that, I'll show the introduction. From the introduction itself, you need to understand which view I'm supporting. Some individuals believe that medical services should be provided at no cost to all, while others think people should be responsible for covering their own healthcare expenses. Background statement. However, I believe healthcare must be free to protect public well-being. So, from the introduction itself, you made it clear that even though there are two different opinions or there's a debate on whether healthcare should be free or whether it should be charged, I believe that it should be free to protect the public well-being. You have made your opinion clear there. You've given the task response clearly in the introduction. So, when you're supporting one view out of the given views, then your view, the view which you're supporting, should come in the second body paragraph. This is the view that you're supporting. Healthcare must be free. So, in the first paragraph, you should be writing the other view which you're not supporting. If you're going for a third view, you are free to write whichever view you want in any way. You can write any view. The sequence is not important. Okay, there are two views and you have a third view. The two given views, you can write it in any order. Either it can be 1, 2 or 2, 1. That's fine. But if you're supporting one of the given views, then the view which you're supporting, it is better if you can place it in the second body paragraph. In the first body paragraph, you discuss about the view which you're not supporting, the other side. Okay, so here, since you're supporting free healthcare, in this paragraph, you're going to talk about this, the view in which you're not supporting healthcare, in which people say that it should be charged. So this talks about that. Now, body paragraph 2 is going to talk about the view which is based on free healthcare, and moreover, it is supported by you. So how can we start it? I'm not reading this because it's same as what we have written in the previous example. Okay, according to one perspective, free healthcare may lead to overuse and strain on medical facilities, and I have expanded on that idea. So I'm not supporting that view. Now coming to the second paragraph, how have I started it? In spite of these arguments, I definitely feel that healthcare is a basic human right and should not depend on a person's income. Which means that in this paragraph, you're going to talk about or discuss on free healthcare. And you have also made it clear that I definitely feel that. You're not generally saying that some people or some are of the argument that healthcare should be provided free to all. No. Along with that, you have also inserted this aspect. I definitely feel that, which means that the reader understands that you are supporting the other view. Okay, this is how you have to construct it if you're supporting one of the views. Now here you have supported free healthcare. Now if you were supporting medical services should be charged. Then regarding free healthcare, you will be writing in the first paragraph, and in the second paragraph you would be discussing about charged medical services. Okay, and then conclusion, again it's nothing but restating the response or restating your opinion. I hope that is clear. So whatever the essay type is, just keep that. These are the things that you need to keep in mind. Understand the question clearly, understand what the given statement is, break it down into words and focus on each word and clearly understand what they are trying to say through the statement. Then focus on the task based on the statement, what you are supposed to do, and make sure that your essay should reflect the task response from top to bottom, from the introduction through the body paragraphs until the conclusion. Your task response should be evident. Okay, and then that is the main thing that you have to keep in mind. Whatever, no matter what essay type is, you will be able to write it if you understand the question clearly and you have delivered your response clearly, so that the reader does not have confusion while reading your essay. It's not about like some very often I have noticed students randomly writing on the one hand, on the other hand. No, it's not about discussing two different aspects. It's all about understanding what the task demands and giving your response accordingly. Okay. Now I've just mentioned, I'll just show you another question which has appeared on the same date for the general training version. This question which we have discussed as of now, discuss both sides and give your opinion, was the essay which appeared for the academic version, and for the GT or the general training, this was the question. Some people believe that government should spend money to improve the punishment system, while others suggest that money should be spent to prevent the causes of crime. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. See, again, this is a discuss both sides and give your opinion question type. Now you can think of it based on the techniques that we have applied. For the first example, you can try out writing the essay for this question. Let it be a practice. Okay, with that we come to the end of the session. Hope you found it helpful. Stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you.
Medcity International Academy. Trusted hands forever.